Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, the GUIDO, or some people call me Gildo, Guido, Guido. It's really Guido, but that's all right. It don't really matter. I just appreciate you stopping by the YouTube page today. In today's video, we actually have a really cool conversation with characters from inside of the Academy Roleplay server. What we're doing is just kind of meeting the people that are behind the characters. And so this time we have a conversation with LSPD Police Chief Wolfey. And man, we just had a really good conversation. I enjoyed it so much. We even get a chance to kind of see what each other bought on our Amazon list. You're just going to have to check it out. I can't really explain it, but it really was a fun conversation. I hope that you enjoy it as much as I did. Before we get into the video, though, if you're maybe interested in getting connected to the Academy Roleplay server, or maybe you're just interested in GTA Roleplay at all, man, I want to invite you to come check out the Academy. Here's a link right here. Man, we have a blast. It's more than a game. It's a community, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. So come hang out. The link will also be in the description as well. All right. Also, while you're here, man, why don't you go ahead and hit the thumbs up button? It's right there. Hit it for me. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the stuff that's on our Amazon list. Let me know what you think about the questions we asked. Even if you don't have a question or a comment, leave your favorite emoji. I just love to know that you stopped by. And if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. Okay? Hey, that's it. That's enough of me talking. I want you to check out this conversation, and I hope you enjoy it. What's up, sir?
How are you, sir?
I'm good, buddy. How you doing, man?
Doing well, doing well. Thanks for having me this evening.
Hey, thank you so much for jumping in here, man. I'm really thankful. I appreciate you coming in, and I'm excited about our conversation.
Absolutely, me too, buddy. Been looking forward to all weekend.
Yeah, me too, man. And so I was, you and I have been kind of talking a little bit back and forth about the conversation, and so it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a great one.
That's right.
I want to say this though. I want to just start here before we really get into it. Can I just make this proclamation that your voice is one of my favorite Academy voices of all time?
I appreciate that very much.
I don't know. It's like this epic sounding, like when you come across like in dispatch or something like that. You're like, oh, okay, man, we're in good hands, man. The voice is soothing.
I appreciate it. It's I've actually heard, that I have the voice for what's the thing? It's better I'm on the radio than on
Yeah,
TV.
on radio
So,
voice. Yeah. I got you. Okay. Yeah. No. So it's good. So man, I do appreciate it. And we got some fun stuff. I think some fun stuff planned. It's gonna be really good. Let's start here. Kind of introduce yourself, man. So obviously we know you as Chief Wolfey, and you have a lot of different roles, and I want to talk about that too. But who is Chief Wolfey? And let's just start with that, man. Introduce yourself to us.
sure. So my real name is Michael Wolf. Um, I typically go by Mike, but a lot of friends call me Mikey. A lot of friends call me Wolfie. So that comes where the character name came out of. Originally from born and raised in West Virginia. I was born in north central West Virginia. Grew up on a farm and eventually moved to northern West Virginia, Morgantown, where West Virginia University is at. So
Okay.
big Mountaineer fan.
Yeah.
I lived in Morgantown for 14 years and then moved to Myrtle Beach, actually, here in South Carolina, just about 6 years ago.
Yeah. Awesome. And I was in your backyard
That's right.
just a couple of days ago.
Yeah, that's right. With all the heat.
All the heat and the storm and the rough waters.
Yep,
I was a part of all of that.
that's right.
How do you like living in Myrtle Beach, man? What is that like?
It's different. I will. So in the 6 years that I have lived here, I've actually stepped onto the beach probably 4 times. A
Yeah.
lot of that's my problem. That I haven't taken the time to do it. But to be honest, once you've been here for a while and it's a very touristy town.
Sure.
So when to avoid those places like that.
Yeah.
The favorite time for me is obviously in the wintertime when we don't have as many tourists here. But
Yeah.
I really do love it. I love the southern hospitality. Everybody is just really nice down here.
Awesome, man. We are. So I have a friend of mine that just moved to where we live from Hilton Head,
Okay.
and and when you meet people, like when I go to the beach, I think, man, it would be nice to live down here.
Yeah,
And then when you talk to people that live at the beach, most of them say, I never go to the beach. It's
that's right.
very rare.
That is very true. Yep.
And so, but you have this idea, like even when we were down there this week, even when we're down there this week, I'm sitting there with my family and my parents are there, my brother and sister-in-law, my sister, and, or my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law. Anyway, there's family. And so, and we're like, man, we could get a house and we could rent it out. You're
Yep.
playing out this like fantasy basically. And in the back of my mind, I'm remembering what my buddy Evan said. He's like, bro, I never go to the beach. I
That's
never live
right.
there.
Yep, it's very true, man. I love the beach. I love the ocean. Let me rephrase that. I love the ocean. I love the sound of it. It's calming to me. I hate the sand and the fact of you're dirty. You track it back to your car, and that type of thing. But um, I actually was thinking about it the other day. I thought you live at the beach, but the true experience is like when you can stay on the beach. I mean, I only live 6 miles from the beach,
Wow.
but to be actually on the beach and be able to hear the ocean and just relax at night. So I actually was looking at rooms and I was like, I don't want to spend $300 and go spend 12 hours at
Yeah.
the hotel. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah,
All right, so let me ask this, and I think this is important. We had this, all right, and I don't want to make this whole conversation about the beach, but it's fresh on my mind. You live there.
right.
Let's just make it happen. So, uh, when I go to the beach, well, let me phrase it like this: would you say that you are a go to when you're at the beach? Are you a go to the beach kind of guy, stay there sun up to sundown, or are you more like I just like being near the beach. I like to know that the beach is near me, but I don't have to go to it. What kind of guy are you?
So it depends on the mood, to be honest. I would prefer if I'm going to the beach to pack for the beach and be there for the day
Okay,
and,
all right.
just hang out and enjoy it. However, I have found especially in living here, if you can find a nice little spot on the beach, especially if it's away from the tourist, but you still have a nice restaurant or something that you can run, grab some food, grab drinks, and come back. That's enjoyable too. To have that luxury to run there. The other thing about living at the beach, something to think about is that you don't have the luxury of running into a hotel to use facilities or
Yeah.
things like that. There's state parks here that you can actually buy a pass to, and that's what I have when
Okay.
I do go. I normally don't go to the public beach, but yeah, if I'm going to go, I'm just going to pack and go and enjoy the day.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Very
Yeah,
good. I am a. I like to know that the beach is near, but I'm okay not going to it kind of guy.
right, right.
So, anyway, all right. Well, man, tell me. Let's talk a little bit about what you do for work because I think that you and you just recently said on your Discord that you were actually going to be making a job change.
Yeah.
So let's kind of talk about that, man. What are you doing?
So right now, I work in the private sector. So I actually spent 20 years in public safety. I was a EMT. I worked in the volunteer fire service. I was a 911 dispatcher. I was a county medical examiner. And then
Wow.
eventually ended up being the director of 911 and Homeland Security for a county until I decided to move over to the private sector.
Sure.
So since then, I have still worked with 911 centers, selling equipment solutions. Eventually, well, I started that in 2016, and then in 2018, I moved to the national director of sales and operations for that company,
Awesome.
and I had 26 states that I oversaw with it. Actually, this is my last week with them.
Okay.
Friday will be my last day. I've accepted a new job, which is just focusing on South Carolina, and it is going to be helping develop and install next generation 911 here. So enhancing 911 services for South Carolina.
Awesome, man.
Yeah,
That's exciting, man.
yeah.
You're ready to make the change. You're pumped up, excited about
I
it.
am. I am. Yep. Yep. Definitely. It'll definitely be different. This will be at least in this the role, be the first time that I don't have a team that I'm really directly supervising, so I
Sure.
can truly concentrate on my job and what we have built up to do there. I also here in Myrtle Beach, I own two businesses. So I'm a
Okay.
part owner of a bar and restaurant,
Okay.
and then I
Nice.
also have a wedding officiant company. So
Do you?
yeah, I marry people at the beach when they decide to have a destination wedding. Yeah,
That's kind of dope, actually.
yeah,
Yeah, that's really good.
yeah,
Very cool, man. Now, do you get a lot of that? Are there a lot of beach
yeah.
weddings and all that kind of stuff that come through?
Yeah, this is actually my about 2.5 years now that I've been doing that. This year by far is the busiest. So I've been seeing in the summertime here over the next couple months, usually 1 to 2 weddings a week.
Yeah.
But and then later, actually, the most busy time is October to December. There's a lot of people like to come down, outside the tourist time for
Yeah.
better hotel rates and stuff like that. But man, it's a really cool experience. I actually write each service or ceremony. I try unless they just want the basic, thing.
Yeah.
I have a call to get to know them and try to explain, where they started and how we got to them standing in front of me.
That's so cool.
And it's such a cool experience.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. That is a fun, unique fact. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that. How's business going with your restaurant?
It's good. It's good. COVID really took a hit, especially everywhere, obviously. But
Sure.
we saw the same thing here. A lot of restaurants, the bar business and service industry, increasing prices. You know, people not really wanting to work, like they did before. So, but luckily we're a locals bar,
Okay.
so we don't rely on tourists. So it's still been good for us. Our locals have still been very um, supporting us. Continued to do that even through the COVID
Yeah.
situation. So
Awesome, man. Well, very cool, man.
yeah.
That's really awesome. Um, Sports fan? Are you a sports guy?
College, yes. College,
Okay.
yep. College football, college basketball. I always say I kind of stopped watching professional sports when Michael Jordan left the Bulls.
Okay.
That was hurtful for me.
Yeah.
So,
I get you.
yeah, yeah.
I got you. So you didn't follow him to the Wizards or anything like that.
No,
Yours.
no. When he left Chicago, I mean, my room was Chicago Bulls. My clothes was Chicago Bulls. I quit. I was done.
I hear that, man. Hey, in my opinion, he is the goat,
I
and there are
100%
no
agree.
questions about it.
Yep, I agree.
I know people would want to debate it, but in my opinion, he is the one.
Yep.
All right, well, very cool. So, all right, so obviously we play GTA. It's a game. It's bigger than that. It's a community. We'll talk about that some. But now, are you a gamer? Are you a gamer guy? Is that kind of your deal?
So growing up, I played Nintendo every little chance that I had.
Yeah,
When I was allowed inside the house. We
yeah.
had the rule that you had to spend a lot of time outdoors, and you either played outside or you had chores to do outside. So we weren't allowed to sit inside and play video games all the time. But yeah, man, I was a Nintendo, Zelda, Duck Hunt.
Yes.
That's the old school stuff.
Yeah, man. Those are
Yep.
those are great games.
Yep.
Those are
But
great games.
yeah, took a break though after that, and really didn't get into much other than maybe some online, easy app games, that
Sure.
type of thing until I came across Tarp.
Awesome, man. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So when you are not marrying people and you are not starting new jobs and you're not running a restaurant, which I'm sure keeps you very, very busy, and when you are not the chief of police and all of the other things that we'll talk about, what do you do, man? How do you spend your time? What do you normally get into?
I truly like trying to spend time with friends,
Okay.
and help in any way there. I'm also I have another foundation called the Bear Down Foundation. It's actually a Down syndrome awareness group that I'm a part of. And so we hold a few different fundraisers throughout the year, specifically here in Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
And I know the family very well. The little boy that is named after, his parents are very good friends of mine. So we do a lot with that. But otherwise, it's hanging out with friends. I just you know, I'm away from my family. I try to bring my
Sure.
mom down. I'm a mama's boy,
Okay.
so I try to bring her down, every few months to visit and hang out.
Yeah.
But yeah, just try to enjoy life, bud.
Now, so she still lives in West Virginia.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, good, man. Well, so speaking of hobbies, everybody everybody typically has the hobby of shopping on Amazon, right?
Right.
So whether you like it or not, everybody typically has a hobby of shopping on Amazon, right? So I went to you. I said, "Hey, listen, I've got an idea." It wasn't my original idea. I heard it on a radio show actually, coming home from Myrtle Beach, and
Hmm.
I said, what if we play a game where you send me a list of the top 5 things or the last 5 things that you bought on Amazon, okay?
Yep.
And I will put in the last 5 things that I have bought on Amazon. And so what we're going to do is we're going to play a game, and we're going to post those, and we're actually going to let chat vote and see if they can decide if it's your purchase or if it's my purchase.
Yep.
All right?
Good deal. Good
Yeah.
deal. I
All
love
right.
it.
Here's how we're going to do it. Here's how we're going to do it. I've got a screen that's here, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put up a poll, and if you think it's Chief and you think it's Chief Wolfey, then you need to hit exclamation point vote A. Okay, it's right there on the screen. Exclamation point vote space A. If you think it's my purchase, you need to hit exclamation point vote B. Now, here's the deal. When I reveal it and I start the poll, you only have 60 seconds, okay? So you only have 60 seconds, and then we'll kind of tell why we have the purchase. And I'll be honest, I saw your list and I was like, man, he made some interesting purchases. But then I saw my list and I was like, man, I've made some interesting purchases. So I think we've got some explaining to do on this. So this is what did you buy? That's our game. What did you buy? And it's the Amazon edition. Okay. So the very first purchase, we won't say, we'll tell after the vote, and we'll just see how everybody does. The very first purchase was a 32-ounce hydro flask. Okay, a 32-ounce hydro flask. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the poll. You'll have 60 seconds. If you think Chief bought a 32-ounce hydro flask, you're going to hit exclamation point vote A. If you think I bought it, you're going to hit exclamation point vote B. It's live now. All right, it's live right now. Go ahead and vote. It'll tell you if it'll confirm your vote once it's in. Go ahead. You got about 46 seconds left. It's close. I mean, it's really close on the votes. It's like it's tied actually.
Wow. Wow.
It's actually coming in pretty tied there. All right. So we got about 25 seconds left. Maybe we can shorten. Maybe we can do like 45 seconds on the next one. Still coming in. You still got about 18 seconds to vote if you want to vote. Still got about 18 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds left. If you want to vote, exclamation point vote A for Chief. Exclamation point vote B for me. All right? So what do you think? All right. Time's up. Time's up. Time's up. Here we go. I got the most votes with 57.14% of the votes. And that is correct. This was my purchase. I was going to be honest, when I looked on my Amazon list, I had no idea that I had purchased this because I think that my daughter did it.
Right.
I looked on it and I didn't buy this. I didn't buy this. So So yes, that was my purchase. Okay. All right. So that was the first one. All right. Here we go. Here's the second one. A robotic vacuum cleaner. Robotic vacuum cleaner. Okay. All right. It's live. So what do you think? If you think it's Chief, hit exclamation point vote A. If you think it's me, hit exclamation point vote B. All right. So what do you think? Vote A for Chief. Vote B for me. Who do you think bought a robotic vacuum cleaner? Now, there is no particular order. There's no particular order, so it really could be anybody. We didn't like go back and forth. It was just kind of, just kind of random. About 20 seconds left. 20 seconds left. What do you think? Exclamation point vote A for Chief. Exclamation point vote B. You got 7 seconds left. 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. There we go. There we go. We're gonna close it. All right. You got 88.46% of the votes.
They're good.
What do you?
They're good.
So, do you think was that your purchase?
That was my purchase.
That was your purchase.
That was mine. Yes.
Why did you buy a robotic vacuum cleaner?
So, funny story. It actually wasn't even for me.
Nice.
I have a robotic vacuum cleaner, so I knew how cool they were. However, every Friday at my bar, we have bingo, and we do prizes. The unique thing with it, though, is we have a 7-week big prize drawing. So if you play each week, your name gets entered into the contest. On that 7th week, you win a big prize, and that's the prize that we chose to give away. So I bought that
Nice.
to give away for bingo. Yeah.
Very cool. That's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. All right. So that was a good story. So robotic vacuum cleaner. All right. Here we go. Number 8. Number 8. A pop ball fidget spinner. A pop ball fidget spinner. We're live. If you think it's Chief, exclamation point vote A. If you think it's me, exclamation point vote B. Go ahead and vote now. Who do you think bought a pop ball fidget spinner? What do you think? What do you think? And again, it could be in any order. There's no real great order. But Chief is vote A, exclamation point vote A. I am exclamation point vote B. What do you think? I mean, there are a lot of people voting for me on this one. I'm watching it. We got about 18 seconds left. About 12 seconds left. It's a pop ball fidget spinner. A pop ball fidget spinner. What do you think? All right, that's it. That's time. Time is up. Here we go. I got the most votes at 77.8% of the votes. 77.8% of the votes. They voted for me. But this was not my purchase.
Nope.
This was your purchase.
That was.
What? And I'm watching chat and I'm thinking the same thing. They're asking, what is a pop ball fidget spinner? I don't know. You got to explain this one, Chief.
It is a fidget spinner. However, it is in a ball form, and it's a sensory ball. And so the reason that I actually bought those, my best friend is a lieutenant with a police department in West Virginia.
Okay.
And she took on a project to make sensory kits for all the police departments in the county that she works in, and it is for kids of, if it's Down syndrome, any type of condition that they have that they connect more easily, or would need to have a sensory type item to be able to calm them and give them in whatever situation it may be. So she was taking some donations, and that was my donation to her
Awesome.
project.
Very cool, man.
Yeah,
I love that. All right. Okay. You ready for number 7?
let's go.
All right, here we go. Number 7. We'll reveal it first. It's a 60 color changing of magic spoons. A 60 color changing of magic spoons, okay? I did adjust the time. We're going to do 45 seconds. So make sure you get your votes in. But it's live now. You can go ahead and vote. It's a 60 color changing magic spoons. All right? And I only did 45 seconds. So if you think it's Chief, exclamation point, vote A. If you think it's me, exclamation point, vote B.
I do like to eat, so
I mean, I'm right there with you, Chief. I like to,
yeah.
I'm a fan of eating as well. Exclamation point, vote A for Chief, exclamation point, vote B. 60 color changing magic spoons. 5 seconds left if you're going to get your vote in. This is a one-sided vote. This is going to go one-sided. All right, so we'll reveal it. 75% of the votes went for me, and that is correct. This was one of my purchases, 60 color changing magic spoons, and I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what this is.
I was going to ask, what do you use that for?
I actually, when I saw it on my Amazon list, I thought, what in the world is that? All right, I don't know what it is. I cannot give an explanation for it, but I can give an explanation of why I think it was purchased. So in addition to my daughter using my Amazon account, our church, it has it's our version of a VBS. It's a nighttime thing coming up, and I am assuming that our children's pastor bought this because it was in a list of a whole bunch of things. I have no idea what they're used for, what they will be used for, but we have them, and they were delivered while I was on vacation. So
there you go.
So there we go. So 60 color changing magic spoons. When I find out more on what they are, I'll let you guys know. All right? All right, here we go. Number 6, an air fryer magnetic timer cheat sheet. An air fryer magnetic timer cheat sheet. All right, polls open. What do you think? If you think it's Chief, exclamation point, vote A. If you think it's me, exclamation point, vote B. If you think it's Chief, exclamation point, vote A. If you think it's me, exclamation point, vote B. Air fryer magnetic timer cheat sheet. Officer Norton said, your pastor has access to your Amazon account. So, yes. In a short statement, without tons of explanation, the answer is yes. He is the children's pastor, and he does have access, and he buys crap on it all the time. So, all right, time's up. Here we go. 57.14% of the votes went your way, Chief. And that was correct. This is your purchase.
That's right.
I am interested to know about this.
So I love to cook.
Okay.
I've posted some pics in our IRL in Discord, but so I have an Instapot, but I have the air fryer oven, and it does anything and everything that you can think of. And I was scrolling through Amazon. It was one of those like daily picks or whatever it was, and it's basically it's a magnet for your refrigerator, and it gives you all like the cheat times, how long to put asparagus in for, how long to cook a chicken leg, and it's accurate. Yeah, it's good stuff. So
I may need you to send me the link on that. I actually need that.
Yeah, it was a cool buy.
I'm the Googler of like, okay, how long do you cook whatever frozen pizza, whatever it is. That's my
right.
If you look through my Google history, that's definitely always in there.
Yep, definitely.
All right, here we go. Number five. A Schrute Farms men's sweatshirt. And I didn't have room to type this. It may matter, but the color is heather gray. All right? I didn't have room to type it, but as a Shroot Farms men's sweatshirt. Poll is open. Right now, if you think it's the Chief, exclamation point, vote A. If you think it's me, exclamation point, vote B. What do you think? Exclamation point, vote A for Chief, exclamation point, vote B. It's a Shroot Farms men's sweatshirt. What do we think? We got about 20 seconds left. That way it kind of puts the pressure on, makes you, the 45 seconds makes you kind of get the vote in a little bit quicker. It doesn't give you a whole lot of time to think about it. Iron Salt said it has to be Guido, but I don't trust myself. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, time's up. Time's up on that one. All right, here we go. 76.9% of the votes were for me, and that is correct.
Sure.
I did know about this purchase. This was on my Amazon account. I did not buy it. My daughter has a bad habit of when she gets into a show, she likes to buy stuff that goes with the show. So when she was into Stranger Things, I know the new seasons came out, but like when season 3 came out, she was into it, and she bought like a bunch of stickers for it. She watched Grey's Anatomy. She watched she got a bunch of stickers for it. Now she's into The Office.
Oh yeah.
And so for whatever reason, she decided to get a Shroot Farms men's sweatshirt. I asked her, I said, they didn't have any women's? She's like, I didn't find one. So, and she also loves sweatshirts. All right. Iron Assault said 2 for 6. Yeah, put your record in. I'm interested to know how everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Poor Iron Assault, 2 for 6. Call Red, 5 and 1. All right, so that's not bad. Poober, 3 and 3. I like to call him Pooh Bear, just because of my southern slang, I guess. I don't know. All right, here we go. Number 4, a large suit garment travel bag. A large suit travel garment bag. All right, polls open. You got 45 seconds. Exclamation point, vote A if you think it's the Chief. Exclamation point, vote B if you think it's me. Which one of us do you think purchased a large suit garment travel bag? Exclamation point, vote A for the Chief. Exclamation point, vote B for me. What do we think? This one's actually really close. You've got about 14 seconds. 14 seconds. About 7 seconds on the large suit garment travel bag. What do we think? All right. Time's up. We're going to complete it. And Chief, you got 54.17% of the votes. It was really close. It may be one of the closest ones so far. What did you buy this for?
Well, I actually bought that. I didn't buy it.
You didn't buy it. You
didn't buy that.
No, that was my purchase. That was my purchase. And the reason is I did just go on vacation, but I actually have a work trip that's coming up. I have to leave on Sunday. So next Sunday I have to leave and go on a work trip, be gone for a week. And so I bought this to travel. So hopefully it's nice. We'll see what happens when it gets here. It said I could return it if I didn't like it. So
there you go.
Lady Assault said preachers need suits. Yes, but I'll be honest, Lady Assault, I can't remember the last time I wore a suit. I'm not a suit wearer. I'm a jeans and short sleeve button down Hawaiian shirt.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
All right, here we go. Number three. An automatic dog water bowl. An automatic dog water bowl. Polls open right now. If you think it's the Chief, exclamation point, vote A. If you think it is me, exclamation point, vote B. Who do you think bought an automatic dog water bowl? What do you think? I think the first question is, who do you think has a dog? And this is very one-sided. This is going to be the most dominantly one-sided vote so far. We only have, unless it drastically changes, we only have 10 seconds left. What do we think? Who got an automatic dog water ball? Chief or myself? All right. Time's up. Time's up. Chief, it was almost unanimous. I think I had like 2 votes, but 93.10% of the votes went your way. And I am sad to tell them, actually, I'm not sad. They got it right. They nailed it.
Right.
They
That's
nailed
right.
it.
Yep. That's I mean, if they have paid attention to the pictures again, pet pictures, then they know I have a spoiled princess. She is a American boxer
Okay.
mix, and she'll be 10 years old. Actually, I was just thinking about it today. She'll be
Wow.
10 in September. I rescued her when she was a year and a half. She's spoiled. Obviously she has an automatic water bowl. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, are you an animal lover? Are you a pet lover, or
Yeah.
you just love this particular one?
No, I definitely I'm an animal lover. I'm partial to dogs, partial to big dogs.
Okay.
But yeah, this one was special to me. I had a dog growing up that I was very, very close to, and it had passed away. And you know, when you do that, you say, I'm not going to put myself through that again.
Sure.
And I ended up rescuing her, and man, it's oddly one of those pets that you feel like you can talk to, and she's probably like laying over here right now, cussing me out, stop talking about me, because I feel like she knows what I'm saying sometimes. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I
Awesome,
love
man.
her.
Very
Yep.
good. Very cool. I love that. All right. All right. Here we go. Number 2. 2 more. 2 more. So if you're needing to redeem yourself, you got 2 more. Number 2 is an XXL gaming mouse pad. An XXL gaming mouse pad. I'm going to start the poll. All right, it's live. It's live now. XXL gaming gaming mouse pad. Who do you think bought that? If you think it's Chief, exclamation point, vote A. If you think it's me, exclamation point, vote B. Exclamation point, vote A, or exclamation point, vote B. Who do you think bought an XXL gaming mouse pad? You got about 15 seconds left if you want to get your vote in on this one. It's an opportunity really to if you haven't been doing so good, you could snag one here. It's a gaming mouse pad, XXL. Time's up. Time's up. Votes are in. And with 60% of the vote, it went my way. 60% of the vote. And that is true. I got an XXL gaming mouse pad. I wanted one so I have a big one. Actually, Ganker, my buddy Ganker that streams in the Academy as well, he bought me one a couple years ago for my birthday and sent it to me.
That's
But
awesome.
my problem is I kept I needed a bigger space. So I got a bigger one and I just set it to the side of the other one that I have. So,
Nice.
and for the record, this should be on brand for me, but it's Fortnite.
Nice.
So there you go. All right. All right, last one. Now, let me just say this. The last one, you need to be ready. You need to be ready for it. Women's comfy memory foam slippers. Women's comfy memory foam slippers. The poll is open.
Was there a size listed with that?
No size. No size. Women's comfy memory foam slippers. If you think it's me, exclamation point, vote B. If you think it's Chief, exclamation point, vote A. What do you think? It's kind of back and forth. I think people are trying to decide. If you think it's the Chief, if you think Chief is wearing women's comfy memory foam slippers, hit exclamation point, vote A. If you think I
We
got
do have
them,
that story in the city that we'll talk about, but
yes. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I know that story, and I'm excited about it. So, all right. It's vote is up. Vote is up. Vote came in. 62.50% of the votes went your way. I really feel like people voted the odds on this. And if they did, they were right. These
Right.
are your
Right.
women's comfy memory foam slippers, or at least your purchase.
That's right. They were my mama's birthday was in May, and that was one of her birthday presents. So,
Nice.
yep.
I like it. Now, did she like them? Did she
Ah,
like
she
them?
loves them. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I ended up buying two, one set for here and one set for her at home. That
Okay.
she enjoys them so much. Yep.
All right, real talk. It's just me and you. Nobody else is here. Have you tried them on?
Well, let's say this. I'm 6'5" with a 13
I got you.
shoe.
Okay. All
My
right.
mom is 5 and a size 6.
I got you. All right. All right. All right. That makes sense. How
Yep.
did you do? How did you do? Cal Red said he went 9-1. That's pretty legit. Southern Duck
Wow.
8 for 10. So that's pretty good. Yeah, chat saying we know they're for him. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
Well, very good, man. That was a lot of fun, man.
That
I'm
was
glad we
cool.
did that. That was a lot of
That was
fun.
very cool.
All right. Hey, thanks, chat. Thank y'all so much for playing. I appreciate that. That was a lot of fun. I'm glad that went really well.
Yeah.
All right, man. So let's get into some talk about TARP a little bit. So let's just kind of start with your origin story. How did you get involved in the community?
Surprisingly, I think probably about like everyone else, TikTok. I was
Okay.
watching, came across Officer Messer,
Yeah.
and to be honest, I mean, I watched a couple of the videos, and then what caught my attention, obviously, wasn't one of the videos I saw. He made mention of West Virginia, and of course, that's where I'm from. So
Okay.
I was like, well, who's this guy? I used to know everybody, around the state for the work that I did,
Yeah.
and just started watching it. Then I switched over, started watching Twitch, and I got hooked. I thought it was great content, of what he was doing, the message that he was saying. And then what really got my attention was they were talking about dispatchers and that they had dispatchers that you didn't have to be a part or in game to participate. You could still do the job. And I thought, how cool would this be? That was my life.
Yeah.
I can do this on the side for some fun, and that's where we started.
Awesome, man. So, all right. So you get in, and you've not been gaming. Now, do you jump in and just start discording, or do you get in not discording, dispatching, or are you like everybody else? You're just trying to figure out how to walk and all that
Yep.
kind of stuff.
100%. So I got in, I started the dispatching. At the time, I just had a gaming laptop. Actually, I mean, to go back before that, at the time, I didn't have anything. I ended up going out buying a gaming laptop so that I could dispatch.
Okay.
Then I downloaded, 5M, got into the server, and started trying to navigate my way around.
Yeah.
Get to know people. It was difficult, to be honest. Very, very difficult. I didn't know, anybody obviously in there. So when I first came into game, it was a huge learning curve for me to figure out the mechanics and the difference between, I'd played GTA, casually before,
Sure.
but to figure out the 5N mechanics of things and what you could do in the server and who people were and that type of thing. It was a big deal.
And there is a transition because if you play, I've got a buddy of mine even right now who is he's in that place. He's like, man, I'm thinking about getting a computer. I've been watching you stream. I've been watching your
Hmm.
TikToks. It looks like fun.
Yep.
Is it easy? And the answer is no.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
But it is. But it I think part of the fun is the journey of learning. Trying to figure it out and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff. So it is a journey.
Yeah. And truly, I think that we've come a long way, even from I started back in I think the first part of November. So I
Okay.
started watching Officer Messer probably about September-ish, and watched for a couple months, and then it was November time before I joined. But I think we've come a long way from that starting point in how we bring people into the community and
Sure.
the mentorship and that kind of stuff. But Yeah, I mean, one of the things I've preached, since I came in was making it a little bit easier to get to know people because
Sure,
that was the hard thing for me. I was running around by myself, a lot of times, no idea what I was supposed to be doing,
sure.
and I was trying to hang out at the Yellow Jack to get to know people, but I found out that was a bad crew to be hanging around with at the time, so I didn't want to be
Yeah,
there that often.
yeah. Those the hanging out at the Yellow Jack back in the day was man, it was action packed.
That's right.
You didn't ever know what was going to happen.
Yep.
Uh, so all right, so you got in. So you started playing September, or no, you started playing in November,
Right.
and you're just trying to get in. You're figuring out. So how did and I want us to kind of try to move into the idea of all of the roles that you play, but you started just like everybody else. Started on TikTok, trying to figure out how to walk, how do I move, how do I change my clothes, how do my arms not get invisible. You're trying to figure out all that stuff, and how did that just kind of progress for you, and into the roles that you're playing now?
So, I mean, I was literally consumed by it. After work, of an evening, my free time, I was really watching. Number one, I didn't miss a stream, of Messers.
Yeah,
So anytime that he was on, I was watching. I was trying to pay attention to what he was doing,
yeah,
at this time, and also at this time we were on the old server. So I was still having some issues at that time, even being in game, and going through some of the pains of that.
sure,
So between dispatching and just watching that, and then eventually after I got in and started learning about the game and some of the mechanics, places to go, then I started meeting some people, and start getting more comfortable in remembering that when I came in, I wasn't just coming in for the 2, 3, 4 hours that I was going to play.
sure,
I got better at that when I started thinking about, okay, what am I going to do today that I can pick up on tomorrow,
sure.
and that's just kind of grew from there.
I think that's a great thought process because when you first come in, you do kind of get this idea of what do I do? All
Right.
right, I drive my car around. Well, that that don't last for a while, and then it's like okay, well, and when you in the old server, you just went and got what is it, community works job, and you made
Right.
$400 every 5 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever, and so it was you
Yep.
never had to go to work. But I think there is this idea of okay, what do I do, and that is very common because I've found myself in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do I progress? How do I move from just driving around?
Right. Yeah. And like you said, I mean, at that time, there wasn't as many opportunities of things to
Yeah,
do as we have now, and I didn't want to be a hardcore criminal.
sure.
It was still weird for me because I grew up in public safety.
Yeah,
But I mean, I did some chases. I was involved in some of that. I messed around and made BCSO chase me a few times. And to be quite honest, I have to say. I'm not that great at high speed driving. I'm better than the deputy chief. I'm just going to put that out there. But I'm
I
not that great at high speed driving yet, and which is one of the funny stories I have. But um, I had went to dinner with a bunch of friends. I had a few drinks one night, and I came home, and I was like, "Man, I'm going to get in and just play for a while." And this was late. It was like the 11:30, 12 o'clock time frame,
yeah, yeah.
and I don't even remember the character's name. I've since I left it in the old server, but I got in and I got into a high speed chase with BCSO, and it went for a good little while. It was a good chase. They did great RP, and it was awesome. And I was like, whew. I was like, maybe until I get comfortable, I just need to take a few sips before I jump in here. So that,
Yeah.
but I
Well,
was a little more relaxed. I wasn't so uptight and worried about things. And
sure.
but then I just realized I was like, man, just get in here and be you. Like
Yeah.
this is what it's all about. Just come hang out, and that's what I did after that.
Awesome, man. All right, so you're figuring out, you're kind of developing characters, and then you start, at some point you kind of start moving into some different kind of roles inside the server. Talk about that. How did that how did you kind of progress from, okay, I'm figuring out how to walk, I'm developing a character, I know how to drive a little bit now.
Right.
Now you kind of start taking on some responsibility
Mhm.
inside of the server as well. Kind of talk through that.
So I mean, from the get go, at least for me, and we say like the word, is it's just a game. It is just a game for me in the aspect of um, when I started, thinking about from the beginning, at that time I was like, this is just a game, but my real passion and my true belief was the message that this community was about.
Right.
I was all about bridging the gap and humanizing the badge, and I have a strong, proud background and belief and support in public safety,
Yeah.
and having that was what I was more interested in. I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to lend any background experience I had or volunteer any time, that I had to help with that. And to be honest, how it all like kind of started was I was actually in the server one day. I had just went out. Up until this point, I was using my keyboard, for driving and all this kind of stuff. And I realized that you could use, a controller.
Yeah.
So I went out and bought a controller, and I was driving, trying to figure out how to maneuver the car and all this kind of stuff. And I went past a car that was pulled over. I think it was state police that had it pulled over. But anyways, I went past it, and apparently in their eyes, I came close. In mine, I didn't. I heard a siren. Next thing I know, I was in a ticket, and it was, were you trying to VDM, and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, no, like, I'm literally, I have a new control. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And we went back and forth, for a little bit, and they're like, okay, don't do it again. So I got in and dispatched that evening. I was still a little spooked, I was like, holy crap, I've only been in, for a few weeks, and I was in a ticket, and I really didn't mean to do anything. And I finished dispatching, and it was about 11:30 at night, and my Discord starts ringing, and it says Officer Messer. And I thought, holy freaking crap, they're kicking me out of the server. I got in trouble for they think I VDM'd. And I literally, my heart was, I didn't even answer it. I was staring at my phone like, I don't know what to do right now. And so he calls back again, and I was like, man, I might as well just take it, like a man. And
Yes.
I answer, and he's like, hey, you're the dispatcher, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, hey, I need to make a video for content tonight. Would you mind to jump into a Discord call with us real quick and dispatch to make this video? And like, it was like, holy crap, like all the, yeah. Then I was really nervous. I was even more nervous, than that. But I was scared to death, man, that he was calling to kick me out of his server for VDMing. But after that, it just kind of, expressed my interest. We started talking. I was helping with some of the content, and I have some background in doing social media and
Yeah.
different types of PR stuff like that. And Tony and I have just started working from there. So as far as like really working to that, I got assigned some projects. With the team, moved into a media administration position, and was really working on helping Tony with his stuff, and then eventually was moved into senior media administrator. And with that, it oversees our content creators, our TARP social media, trying to promote it. But then, another large majority of that is the work that I do, with Tony, and creating his content, putting his stuff out on social media, promoting TARP, working with sponsorships, et cetera, that kind of stuff.
So, all right. So you are, as far as like the, not the branding, but you are in a lot of sense, you are a brand ambassador because you oversee
Yep.
the content that's produced.
Yep.
What we're doing now is part of that. As
Yep.
being a part of the content creator team. I like to call it the stream team. I don't know that it's
Yep.
I don't know how well it's appreciated, but I'm just going with it, and maybe people will adapt to it. But it's the promo pieces, it's the social media presence. You're the one that kind of drives all that. You're not necessarily touching all of that, but you're the one that's kind of overseeing that all of that stuff is happening.
Yeah, yeah, we've built a team that works well together, and we all have that same, obviously, same want for the community. We want the best message, out there. We want to be able to promote not only humanizing the badge and bridging the gap, of the community, but also showing what an incredible community this is
Yeah.
that we're trying to grow and that we're growing quickly, and so we want that positive true image out there.
No, absolutely. And I think it's so important. And, there are opinions and there are thoughts about, the content creation and
Mhm.
why it's so protected. And, you know, it kind of rears up every now and then. And it's difficult for me on not it's not difficult, but in my place, it's easy to kind of they're like, well, you're part of that team, right? It's easy for you to support it or whatever. But I think it'd be a good conversation where you just kind of talk about why that's so important and the product or the image that TARP puts out, why it's so important to
Sure.
protect that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, first of all, truly, in my eyes, we're all a part of that. Because even as somebody that is in the city as a civ, if you are a part of our, you're a part of RP, you're easily have the chance or capability of becoming a part of somebody's content, whether you intend for it to happen that way or not.
Sure.
So all of us play a role in that and being able to produce good RP to put out there.
Yeah.
And that is part of the content creator's, position, is producing good content. When people see good RP, when they see this, or when you're in the city, when they not just, talking of Tony or Lady Assault, who has, a higher following and people, really enjoy them. The rest of our team that is building and growing in that, it's important for those people to have good RP, to be able to be good ambassadors, of our community, and to engage people, for those people to say, oh my gosh, I want to go buy a computer, and join
Yeah.
this community. And that's what we look for. There's just some people that are in that role now, that have either have experience, in streaming, or they do such a good job, at promoting that goodwill,
Sure.
that's why they're there. And then, we look to grow from that. This content creator program, if you think about it, just started earlier this year.
Yeah.
That first group started. We had another group that came on right after that. So this is very still in an infancy stage,
Yeah.
to where if we want to be successful with it and grow as we are already growing now, it has to be a well monitored program until we get everything worked out with it.
Yeah. No, and I agree with that, and I think it's important too that the image and the message is well protected and it is presented really well. And I always try to explain it whenever if I ever get into a conversation, a Discord message or whatever it is about this subject, I always try to explain it like when you go to a McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, something like that. They don't want one sandwich to taste one way and then another
Right.
sandwich to taste another way. They want if you get a Chick-fil-A sandwich, they want it or McDonald's, you want it
Yep.
to be the same everywhere that you go.
Yep.
That's good branding. And that essentially is what the community and the content creator program is. It's protected branding. Now, every individual and every stream is different and the content is different, but
Right.
it's making sure that you have the same message, you have the same heart, and I think that's so important inside that process.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And like I said, I mean, whether you think about it or not, just because you're not the one that is on camera, as we are when we go in to do a stream. But being a part of just in the community and playing your role and your part in there is even more important, truly, than the person that's on there, because you are helping to develop and to send that message out there by showing what a good RP community we have.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, all right, so you do content creation, but that's not it. I mean, like you are a man of many hats inside of the academy, and that is a big one. I mean, that if we stopped there, I think everybody could be like, "Whew, man, my man's got his plate full." Like he's running a restaurant, he's working a full time job, he's marrying people on the beach, he's got a dog. He's got lady slippers. Like he's got the whole thing. But that's not it, bro. I mean, you've got several more hats. What else? What other roles do you play in the community?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, currently, I am the chief of LSPD.
Okay.
That's not a long term role. I stepped in when Chief Slivers and Deputy Chief Messer, wanted to step down due to their time constraints.
Sure.
So I kind of stepped in just with my IRL background to help continue and develop that along with Chief Deputy Lee. And so eventually, at some point, in the near future, that will change. We'll transition into a new leadership group there, but that's one of them. I also am the advisor for operations in the communications department. And also what we're developing now is our incident dispatch team. So you saw at the Derby the mobile command communications truck
Yes.
that was there. So we're going to start doing some true IRL dispatch for large scenes or situations where we can bring that truck out and do on-site communications. A part of that, and then I have a couple characters I jump in with every now and then.
Yeah.
I have some cousins that's the relaxing part that I can get in and hang out too.
Yeah. And you were also a part of you're streaming now too. So
Right, right.
um so you have a lot of different viewpoints, a lot of different perspectives. And my definition of perspective, it's not the Webster's definition, but it's the angle at which you view things. And sometimes people see things from one angle, like people see things from the community angle, or as a new member to the community angle. Then you have people that see things from a criminal angle, and they see people from an admin angle, and you see things from a lot of different angles inside of that. So I think this is a good question, because you see things from multiple angles. What do you think about where the community is, and what we're doing, and what the future holds for us? What is that like for you in your perspective, which is very broad? What do you see that as?
It's 100%, and this is to go to show how unrehearsed your interviews are, and raw that it can be, because I literally have had this kind of conversation with myself, for a few days, thinking about what, because of the roles that I have been honored to have, within the community,
Yeah.
how can I best serve this community? Because I love it. Like, I may have all of the, the IRL things and, other things, to do, but this is truly my escape, if you will. But it's also, it's become my passion. I want to see this community succeed and continue to grow. I think we have come leaps and bounds from November of last year to now.
Sure.
And that goes from having a strong leader in Denny, and Tony and Chris and Ryan, to the administrators. And I want to touch on that part of it,
Yeah.
but clear down to the Civ that just joined. It truly does take all of us to want to be here, to be a part of it, to grow. One thing that I've learned throughout the years and all of the jobs that I've had and roles is that you can never make everybody happy.
Yep.
You got to come to terms when you have a role of decision making
Sure.
to do that, with. But within this community, knowing what your role is and doing it the best that you can is, I think, one of the most important things that anybody could do.
Yeah.
Whether that's from a role play perspective or adding support or training or recruiting or streaming and branding, it's all that. The other part that I think it's important for people to know and understand is the time that goes into this.
Yeah.
I mean, man, from a department head level, just in game, there is so much that goes in to make sure that right now with LSPD, we have a bunch of recruits, cadets that are just joining us. That took basically almost 2 weeks of about four of us going through and doing interviews and then coming in and assigning uniforms and roles and you don't think about those things that people are doing all the time. And then
Yeah.
when it comes to a administrative level, we're all constantly talking. I mean, I talk TARP literally all day, every day. At some point, in time, yes, I may have my work calls and you do your work, but I'm talking to the deputy chief every single day for LSPD. I'm talking to the director and deputy director of communications every day. I'm talking to people with the media team. There's always something to do to make it better,
Sure.
and that's what a lot of us do a lot of the time.
Yeah. And that, and I told you this yesterday when we were chatting. One of the greatest realizations that I think I've had in doing these interviews and talking to so many different people is the amount of time that is put in, not in the game, but in the preparation and the organization and the creation and all of the Asians
Right.
of the support of just making this thing work, so that when somebody jumps in, that everything works the way it should work. And but all of that stuff has happened through hours and hours and hours and days of
Yeah.
conversation and preparation.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's like I said, I mean there's consistently I won't forget they're no longer a part of the community, but I remember somebody coming to me when I first got the administrative role, and they said, I've been trying to get, to be a administrator, forever, and
Yeah.
you were just here and you got into it. And after a while, they were still, in, and I came to them one day and I said, look, man, I said, just so you know, truly, the title means nothing.
Yeah.
If you knew that these administrators and these moderators, they're consistently working tickets. You have no idea how many tickets come in a day from,
Sure.
technical support to complaints to reports, to, I can't get my car back. But that's what these people are volunteering their time to do all the time, and that is again, a part of that makes this community continue to grow and develop and run so smoothly is because of the time that these people put in here.
I think the phrase that you just said there is important to remember, that no one that is a part of our community should forget, is that you have people that are spending hours volunteering their
Right.
time.
Right.
And to me, that is part of what makes the community so special. And I talked about this with Mr. Tittles, Deputy Skittles, whatever. I can't ever decide what to call him, but
Right.
we just kind of talked about this a little bit too. It starts there, and the fact that you have people that love the community, that you spend hours and hours
Right.
investing time into this, but not just you, but it's at every level. It's all of our admins. It's all of the people that serve in these roles that are volunteering time because they believe in the message, they love the community, and they genuinely want to see the best for it. Not because they want something from it, but
Right.
because they want something for it. And that is a true testament of what servanthood is it's, you got people that want stuff, and then you got people that want to give stuff. And
Yep.
to me, that's what our admins do. And so I appreciate that, because I know you're a part of that, and I appreciate the time that you guys put into that.
It's the really cool thing is not only from a community level, that you have your people that, as I was talking earlier about getting to know people, and finding your clique, if you will, or those people that you like to be in game with and whatnot. The thing that I really love about our community is the inclusiveness,
Yeah.
that it is a family like oriented. Like I have come to spend more time and want to be there for people in this community that I have never met,
Yeah.
more than people that I could see on a daily basis in person.
Sure.
And I know more about them. You become this community truly. You become a family and learn to care about each other, and I think that's what's really unique. So you're going to have the same family traits. You're going to have your little spats, or so you're the drunken uncle that we'll just call it slivers. That no, but somebody that may not agree, with something all the time, and that's okay, because we work to resolve those things and do what's best.
Yeah, and I think, like in any family where there's tension, oftentimes there's tension because there is care. I mean, there's,
Right.
and
100%.
that's where, even though tensions can sometimes be created, people that don't care don't have tension because
Right.
they don't care.
Right.
But
Yep.
because you care, even in conflict, there's you at least know that there's concern, there's value for the person.
Yeah. 100%. Yep.
So, well, man, you have your hands full. You are slam packed with your schedule, but you get in and you have time to run around and be characters. And so I'm sure you have some good stories for us, man. I'm sure you've got some things that have happened in your time in the city that you could kind of tell us about. Um, so
There's
so what is that? What you got for us, man?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a couple that stick out that's been fun, and this is where I have to remind myself too about all of the stuff that I may do on the admin side and all the hats and things that get involved with. I made mention of this a few months ago. I hadn't been into the city for a while. This was before I took the LSPD chief's position, and I hadn't been into play for a while. I was so consumed with everything else going
Sure.
on, and I got in and started playing, and I had the best time. Like what seemed like that I played for maybe an hour, it was like 4 hours worth, of
Yeah, yeah.
stuff. And I'm like, holy crap, I got to go to bed. But it was fun. You when you can get in there and truly, play with people and create role play and scenes and stuff. It's a cool experience. And so I have. Well, I guess the funniest for me, and it's already been shared, but I'll just briefly share it again because it goes back to the shoes. But yeah, it was I believe it was the first night that I went out on patrol with Deputy Chief, and
Yeah.
I wanted the uniform to look nice. I was trying to be professional.
Yep.
Where I come from, command leadership wear the shiny shoes.
Yep.
You don't wear just the boots. And I wanted a pair of shiny shoes. And at the time, I was in the locker room changing, and we got a call, and we had to go. And I was not able to look down before we left. And we went to this call, and we ended up on our way back. The deputy chief ran over some spike strips, and we had to pull off to the side of the road. And the nice officers from the two other agencies come up, and I happened to look down, and I was wearing women's dress shoes uh, as part of my uniform, and I was so embarrassed. I was laughing so hard I couldn't talk in character, so I just had to get back in the cruiser. And the deputy chief gets back in, and I was like, "You got to take me back. You got to take me to, to change my shoes. I'm wearing women's shoes." And I mean, everybody was really nice about it it was later that night or maybe the next day. We were talking, and I was talking to him. I was like, "Did anybody say anything?" He's like, "Oh yeah, man, they saw. Everybody noticed." So that was that was definitely
So that's why they
definitely one of the
knew
good
that you
ones.
had the women's slippers on the
That's right.
Amazon
Yeah,
list. They knew it
that's
was
why
you.
that's why there's a question. I don't blame them. There's actually, there's a probable cause there to question
Oh, that's so funny. I
shoes
love
those
it.
belong
I
to.
love that. I
Yeah,
love that, man.
but yeah, it was good stuff. I run around with as I said, one of my other characters is Wendell Malcolm. He's just a old country boy, and I've got two cousins that I run around with, and one of those is Mullet Top, and he's a character, especially if he's been drinking that water, if you'll call it. And we've had some great times. We were out in the county one day. That's one thing that when I get in, I don't like to stay in one area. If I'm in, in one of my civilian characters, I actually prefer not to be in the city.
Okay.
One, I don't want to have to. Just in case, I don't want to be arrested by my own, LSPD officers, even though I'm a cousin to where I'm at there. But
Yeah.
we try to stay out in the county, and we're hanging out in front of the BCSO, and Mullet disappeared, and we didn't know where Mullet went. And he'd been tuned up a little bit. He was on one of his spells of drinking the water, and all of a sudden he comes flying down the road in a tractor, and it was just the most hilarious thing because he's yelling and screaming and hollering, just like a crazy country guy would go.
Yeah.
And we had a scene, in one of Officer Messer's where we had a little domestic dispute of, who was the baby daddy, and that led to some good RP, in the family. There's still a little war going on there, so yeah, it's that's been some good stuff.
Nice, man. That's a lot of fun. And it's fun when you have those characters that you can build off of them, and
Yeah,
they can continue to develop. It does create a lot of good fun stories, a lot of fun memories.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would say the third one for me would have been the deputy chief and I. We were in a pursuit, and live PD was behind us, and that was I think uh, one of the few that I've been in when live PD has been on. And buddy, we were doing good.
Yeah.
I give the deputy chief heck a lot on his driving, and I'm not much better, but it's just fun to rag him about it. And we're lead pursuit, and we come around a turn, and the next thing we know, we go flying off the side of the bridge. We didn't
Oh,
make the turn, and uh, it leaves, and there's so much that's going on in the city. We weren't really sure where the pursuit had went. The vehicle obviously would be interoperable, but there wasn't any help on at the time to come and get us. And we're sitting there, like looking at each other and truly saying, like, what do we do now? And it was like, we can't leave. We can't be seen driving down the street to the
yeah.
to the garage or back to the station. So we literally sat there for like 20 minutes, just waiting until the right time for us to go back was. So yeah, it was a
That's
good one.
fun. That's fun. Hey, I need to put a request in for us to bring back the Yeet unit for Deputy Chief. I think, yeah, we need to bring that back for him. I miss it.
That may have to be brought up in front of the next administration.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. I'm with you. Well, hey, I've got some. So I put out some feelers over the last week or so, saying what we got the deputy or we got the chief on. Man,
Right.
what do we need to ask the chief? And so I got some questions that were turned in. People have been asking some questions. You ready to get into it, maybe?
Let's go. Let's
All
do it.
right. So the first one I got was from Deputy Chief.
Oh, jeez.
And he asked this. He says, ask Mikey in his interview what his opinion on me being that deputy chief is.
My opinion on him being deputy chief.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on him? That's what he asked.
Well, I wouldn't have selected him if I didn't think that he was the right person to fill that. And I tell you, it's funny. Brad and I really did not know each other that well beforehand. I'd only seen his activity, in the department, and truly based my decision to bring him on as deputy chief,
Yeah.
from his time and commitment that he was putting in. And he's developed into, literally one of my best friends.
Yeah.
So I'm happy. I couldn't have imagined the past, few months serving this capacity without him with me. So I appreciate it.
He said something earlier very similar. He said 3 months ago, I barely knew Mikey. He said now he's one of my best friends. So,
Yep.
yeah, so very
Yep.
similar sentiment to that. All right, Mixie Mix, he sent me a message and he said, who does he like better, Jeremy or John from Communications? And what is his
Man.
thought on the mullet toss?
Oh, that's tough. Well, I mean, obviously we already know, man. I love Crazy Mullet Toss. He is so fun to be in the city with, and we play the cousin role. We've got a couple different things that the three of us do that is always fun. But man, here's the thing. There's one distinguishing factor between John and Jeremy. If I had to pick, I have to go with Jeremy because Jeremy believes that pineapple should be on pizza, and
Hey,
I believe that as well.
I do
So
too.
there's my pick.
I'm for it. I mean, that just needs to be settled. Pineapple
Right.
deserves to be on pizza. I don't even know
I
why it's
think
a
I think you
discussion.
settled this before. I
I
think
think,
that
yeah.
yeah. So yeah, if I had to pick, it's because of the pizza toppings.
No, I agree. 100%. 100%. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Um, choo, 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 choo. Have you, Miss Disp, I think that's right, Miss Disp, asked, have you burned couches?
Oh, because of being in Morgantown, West Virginia. So no, I've seen plenty of them burn.
Okay.
If you do not know this, it is a felony to burn a couch
Okay.
because in West Virginia, because of in Morgantown, that was a big thing after football games. The college students would drag their couches out on the front porch or out into the street, and they'd burn their couch for whatever reason. But
Really?
yeah, yep,
I
yep,
didn't know that. I didn't know
yep.
that. And that's that question. I thought it was like something in game, but this is an IRL thing.
Yep,
Like,
yep, that's definitely an IRL thing.
okay, so you've never burned a couch.
Nope, never burned them.
Okay, all right. Let's see. I'm just looking here. which police officer, which Leo, is the hardest to dispatch for?
Hmm. That's tough. I mean, the general answer that I'll give is any of them that blurt their information.
Okay.
It's difficult to when they're just yelling out a registration or a name.
So give an
Um,
example. What is that?
yeah, so blurting would be instead of actually using, like calling out, one, Yankee boy, a whatever, and leaving a space, just yelling it out, one A B, C D D F, and they keep going. That's very difficult because, if you don't key up and you don't speak clearly and plainly, it's hard to hear that transmission, and to make sure that you're getting the right information
Sure.
as the dispatcher. So that's tough. But honestly, I mean, and I don't say this to anybody else, but honestly, Messer is extremely hard to dispatch for when he's on because he's like a cat. He's worried about the 100 things that are happening, and to get him to log into CAD, to give you the correct information, to answer you on the radio. It's funny. You don't think about this until I started getting into it again. I don't watch, his stream or anybody else's stream. When I stream, I do. If there's another streamer that's, in emergency services,
Yeah.
Leo, whatever, that's part of my thing is, having them, in the corner,
Yeah.
so people can see the difference. But I'm not watching them. I'm doing what I'm doing. So it's really difficult to be on that side of communications and not being able to see what you all see out there in the field. And we're
Sure.
just trying to, it's an imagination thing, that you're trying to imagine what's happening out there as you're doing the work. So
Yeah. I think that's a good point too. Is and the dispatchers just recently, as far as came in the game, just
right,
they have characters in the game, and
right,
that's a newer part of our community that we didn't
yeah,
have before. But even still, you're not. I mean, you're in a room. You're in a dispatch
yeah,
room.
right, yeah. You don't know what's happening out there, and and what's going on, what they're actually dealing with or seeing. I mean, the cool thing, and I hope that I get to incorporate this, as part of my content creation, is explaining, about the 911 side of things and what it's like to be a dispatcher and why we do the things that we do.
Yeah.
But there's cool things that I'm doing in IRL with bringing the capability to send text messages and pictures and videos and FaceTime and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff in a 911 environment. So I hope I get to continue to do that and bring that to the community, for a RP as well as an educational thing for the people that watch us.
And I think your stream is so unique because it is a different perspective than any other content creator
Right.
that I'm at least I'm aware of, is
Yeah.
because it is dispatch and you are showing what most people only hear. You're
Right.
showing what that looks like, and I
Yeah.
think that's a really cool part of what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for it to grow. I'm still working through, obviously, the growing pains of getting started and
Yeah.
getting all the settings and that that kind of stuff right. But I'm excited to bring that aspect, and hopefully people find it not only fun but more so educational, and to understand a little bit more about what dispatchers do.
Yeah, awesome, man. All right, Raylan says, "Who is your favorite crim in the city?"
Favorite crew. That's tough to be honest.
Or all right, so let's take out the word favorite. Who is
Yeah,
a crim character that really stands out to you? Not necessarily your favorite, but there's somebody that when you think of a crim character in the city, this is who you think about.
right. Well, I don't consider Mullet as a crim. He's just a drunk. So I would have to, I'd really have to go back to Sanchez. I really, he continues to build off of what he's doing. He's not always the easiest to deal with, but yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed seeing him progress, but at the same time, as far as like being in city, that would be the hardest one that you'd want to deal with for me.
Yeah, I got you. I get that. Um, okay, let's see. I've got more questions about you burning couches. Evidently, everybody in the world
It's a
knows
big
about
thing,
this.
man.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Um, somebody said, "What's the restaurant called?" I'll be in Myrtle Beach in October.
Oh, holy cow! It is Clocker's Tavern. It's
Okay.
on a Highway 17 bypass,
Yeah.
so it runs directly to the beach from 501.
Nice. Okay.
Yep,
Very cool. So make sure you stop by there.
that's right.
Uh, Big Nate, WV, West Virginia. So,
There we go.
two, 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 two. We already said that. Who's your? Already asked that question. All right, let me look through here. All right, here's a good question. So, do you? And you may like both, but do you enjoy the dispatching side more, or do you enjoy the in-game character side more?
And again, this just shows how unscripted half hour before I got on here with you, I was having this conversation with someone. Um, it's tough because I love dispatching. That's I, I got into dispatching because even as a small kid, and I'm talking like 6, 7, 8 years old, I loved emergency services. If I heard the fire whistle go off, I was begging my parents or my grandparents to drive me down and let me see the fire trucks, leave the fire station. And I would listen to the scanner, and I part of like my playtime. My grandfather had an old CB that didn't work and a typewriter, and I literally would sit there and listen to the scanner and type on the typewriter and act like I was talking on the radio.
That's cool.
So I really enjoy it. It's a passion of mine for that. But I have learned over the past, 4 months, I truly enjoy the LSPD side of things.
Yeah.
I enjoy being a part of that RP and trying to where we have come and where we've grown.
Yeah.
It's become a good passion of mine. It'll definitely be hard for me to leave that, and hopefully, we work out a situation where, I can still be, in that. But I would have to say, if I had to pick, right at this moment, it would be very, very tough for me to do. But the in-game character, as far as the RP that I get to do with law enforcement, would rate just a tiny bit higher.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Um, I won't tell you who asked this question,
Oh Lord.
but I think you can figure it out. Who is your favorite LSPD major?
Well, we have such a long list of them that it's tough. But yeah, I think Major Toenail, or I'm sorry, Major Kale Hubert would definitely be my favorite.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. That's a good one. Um, let's see. Choo. All right. Tell me, for you. So I know you said you like the Leo side. Do you think it's more challenging being a crim, being a crim character, or do you think it's more challenging being a Leo character? What do you think is more challenging when you're inside the game?
So personally, it would be a crim, because I'm more familiar with the public safety side of things and how to
Sure.
conduct myself in that role. I've never robbed a house, or held somebody hostage. I don't know that I would be good, at that role. But in the game overall itself, I think there's honestly about a true 50-50 balance, because in the same situation, there's a lot of people that want to join and play a Leo character that have never been Leo.
Yeah.
And sometimes, that's kind of what we're trying to mitigate now, is to educate and train better, to allow better RP from a Leo standpoint. At the same time, too, educating on how to be a better crim and be a better civ.
Sure.
There's so much more to this than just a run and gun and kill a cop and rob a bank.
Yeah.
There's a whole opportunity here on both sides to be able to take something and build a true storyline out of it that can go anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's where we need to be focusing on. So
I really feel like that is the next, lack of a better term, evolution of what
yeah.
our server is
Hmm.
is it is the development of role play and
Right.
really getting in, and it's kind of like what you said earlier, to build on that. Who is a character I can be that I can build something off of, as
Right.
opposed to what store can I rob, what person can I kill, who can I take
Yep.
hostage. What is the evolution of our server is going to be, and in a sense
Yep.
I believe has to be what you said.
Yep.
What character can I create that I can build structurally upon, and that is what will create good role play.
Yeah. And again, you start with that. We've talked about in a content, even from a facilitator side, those that are helping content creators.
Yeah,
We've went through this. Something that we're going to be offering in the city very soon is a community workshop on role play,
I think it's great.
and how to develop a character and how to kind of have that mindset. First, it starts with yourself. Who do you want to be? Who is that character?
Yeah,
And where do you see them going and doing?
I
But
love it.
then just like the Wendell, I have two cousins. We don't pre-plan anything, but if something happens today, then tomorrow or the next time that we get in, we have something to go off of that we can continue building something, from that. Instead of just, as you said earlier, there's there's so much more to do than there shouldn't be a need to just drive around or rob somebody. There's a whole lot more that you can build that I think is pretty cool and neat to build off of.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I think it is, and it's exciting to talk about that, and it's exciting
Yeah.
to see it, because again, what you said earlier, we've come a long way
Yep.
since the old server to what
Right.
we are now, but we still have a long way to go.
Sure.
We've got a long road ahead of us and a lot of opportunity
Yep.
ahead of us as well.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. There's. I mean, trust me. There's lists, of things, and people have brought up so many cool ideas that they want to see in the city. So if we can, now's the time to build the basics, and truly be a economy role play server,
Yeah,
and build that, and then from there, man, I think the sky's the limit, for us on what can truly happen in the future.
yeah, no, I 100% agree with that, man, and I'm excited to be a part of it, and I appreciate the opportunities that are granted to me through that, and I appreciate the opportunity that you gave me to chat with you tonight,
Yeah,
man.
man, absolutely, it's been great.
Hey, tell me this. Let's kind of end. Let's kind of end our conversation here on this thought. If if let's say money was not an object, okay? We're not. Money's not an object, but we just have the ability to dream. What do you think the future could hold for the academy?
I think that we could truly be not only a huge ambassador and life changer or life perspective changer of perspective or I guess perception
Yeah,
is really the best word, in building a better relationship with communities, our neighbors, through not only as us portraying, in role playing as public safety, as we're trying to do with humanizing the badge and, bridging the gap. I think this community has an opportunity to show true inclusiveness.
yeah,
That there are so many different people from so many different backgrounds, from different age groups, that are all in here together. And not only do we believe in those messages, or we wouldn't be here,
right.
but more importantly, we believe in growing and working together for a greater cause and purpose. And that is bettering our server. I think that we have an opportunity here to be one of the best role play servers that is out there.
Sure.
Look at the numbers of how fast we're growing already, and we're a baby. We're infant
Yeah.
stage. There's just so much more that can come and happen, from this, as long as we all work together. Um, we agree to disagree, at the right times, but we always keep the focus of what is yet to come,
Yeah.
and wanting to be better every single day.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and it's man, it's exciting. It is exciting because like I
Yep.
said a moment ago, is I think that we have a lot in front of us, but it's opportunity
Yeah.
that's in front of us, and so
Yep.
that is exciting within itself.
Yep. I completely agree.
So, well, Chief, hey, from an LSPD brother, hey, nothing but love for you, man. I appreciate so much you jumping in and chatting with us. What a great conversation. Thank you so
Yep.
much.
Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. So thank you for having me.
No, absolutely, man. And man, I hope that you have a great one. I look forward to seeing you in the city.
Definitely will.
All right. Sounds good, buddy. Thank
Everybody.
you, sir.
Thanks. Have a good night.